And now for our feature presentation.
Run for your lives! Run for your lives! Get down!
Gentlemen, let's get down to business.
Welcome to the temple, everyone. Shaolin CB here with a special YouTube-only video for Dominaria Quick Draft. It is the current Quick Draft in arena format right now. I'm going to take some time to walk you through the picks. And then we'll probably play a game or two. I'm not going to put the whole draft on because that will lead to a very long video. So this will mostly concentrating on picks and how I rate cards and what cards I look for and what archetypes I'm looking for. So without further ado, let's do this draft. Okay. Gilded Lotus is a fun card, but I don't believe it's that good. Unless you really want to ramp into something or fix something. It's not that good. So our rare is not so good, so we need to look elsewhere in the pack. Baird, Steward of Argive. This is an interesting one. 2/4 with Vigilance that taxes the opponent if they want to attack. This can be quite useful, especially in slowing people down. Thallid Soothsayer, which is hard to say I like a lot. It just allows you to turn chump blockers into card draw. And you don't even have to tap it, so you can do it as much as you want. This card is very nice. Generally goes in the green-black Sapperling deck with Slimefoot, things like Shepherd, etc. Wild Onslaught is a decent combat trick, but I don't pick it very highly. For being uncommon, it really has to come around. There is a red-green kind of kicker deck, in which case you want to pick up as much kicker stuff as possible. So this card would look good. Sarah Disciple can either be good or bad. I know some people like it a lot. The first strike is kind of nice. But I don't love this card. Blessed Light, this is one of the best removals in the entire set. 5 mana, kill a creature or enchantment. There are powerful enchantments like In Bolus's Clutches and a few other things, so you can use it for that as well. It's instant speed, so probably be the pick. Divination is fine card draw. I wouldn't really pick one, but it's good. Skin Witch is totally playable, but also not a pick one. Blue-black is an archetype. Green-black is an archetype. It could be in either. Lava Runner is generally one of the weaker wizards, so I don't value it too highly. You can pick them up pretty late if you need to fill out a wizard's deck. Wizard's decks are normally red-blue. Kelding Raider is a decent card. 4/3 that lets you loot. These come around pretty late, though. We'll probably see this card again from the same pack. Broken Bond, I don't think is very good and not main deckable. We're going to be talking mostly about quick drafts, so we're talking about cards we are going to main deck. We're not going to talk about cards that might be good in the sideboard. Shepherd's a fine pick for green-black Sapperlings, but once again, not really pick one, pack one. Short Sword is the best common equipment you can get, and certainly worth picking up if you have a chance. And Pardic Wanderer is also fine. At the top end, it's colorless. It's great. For me in this pack, the picks are between Blessed Light, Baird, and Thallid Soothsayer. Baird kind of locks us into white because it's double white casting cost. Soothsayer's fine, but I think I'm just going to take the removal. Stay pretty open here. Can always splash for it. I don't need these headphones. Squee is annoying, but not really that powerful. Final Parting, I don't like. It's just too expensive. And you don't draw cards, really. It's a tutor. And not worth it. Fungal Plots is very good in the green-black one. It's a nice enchantment that is very hard to deal with. Charge, you can make a charge deck. You can make go wide decks. They can be white-green, almost mono-white, white-red. Tragic Poet is good in very specific circumstances. For example, if you have like a Fungal Plots and an Eldest Reborn, then Tragic Poet might be good. As opposed to M19, people don't use enchantments nearly as much. Like creature enchantments, Knight's Pledge, etc., etc. So this is not quite as powerful. It'd be pretty good in M19. But this is something you pick up late if you start getting some enchantment synergies. Blessed Light, Tolarian Scholar. Fungal Infections is a decent removal card. It's a nice combat trick. It's got a lot going for it. Vicious Offering is a very good removal spell. Super cheap. Instant speed. Really nice spell. Windgrace Acolyte. These are good pickups. These come around pretty late. 3/2 that gains you 3 life late in the game. This can turn a game around. You can be at 5, you play this, you're at 8, and now all of a sudden you have a threat they can't stop. Skirk Prospector, I don't trust this card very much. I never pick it. Ancient Animus is a little bit like Rabid Bite. It's a green fight spell. It's fine even if you don't have Legendary. It's instant speed. It's worth picking up, especially if you play green because you're a little strapped for removal. And this card is not very good, but is playable if you need it. It looks like we're just going to pick another Blessed Light here. I think Vicious Offering is probably a little better, but there's no reason to take another color when we don't have to yet. Primeval's Glorious Rebirth. Legendary sorceries in this format are generally bad. They're very hard to cast. And no one ever picks this. We will see this card again too, because no one can ever play it. It's a bad rare to open. Triumph of Gerard is also kind of meh. I don't like it very much. It requires you to have a creature. If not, then it doesn't do anything. So I'm not a big fan of that. Sanctum Spirit I'm also not a very big fan of. You have to discard a card to make it indestructible. That doesn't seem great. 3/2, it's pretty easy to kill. Too expensive. Poet. Dub is a cool enchantment. Of the enchantments that people run, On Sarah's Wings and Dub are the good ones. Dubs come pretty late. And you only need like 1 or 2 in your deck. I guess there's a red-white enchantment deck, which Tragic Poet is probably good with Valduck and Champion of something or other. Arcane Flight is good for when you get those turtles. Cold Water Snappers, but nothing you want to pick too early or without turtles. Skin Witch again. I'm a big fan of Omnivore. He just makes blocking math very hard, very difficult. Keldon Overseer is a good card. It's good in an aggro deck. And it's good in a non-aggro deck if you're or a ramp deck or a kicker deck as well. Broken Bond, not a big fan of. Corrosive Ooze, I'm a pretty big fan of in this format. I don't think the card is great, but if you're looking to fill a 2-drop slot, there's a lot of people who play equipment. So you can often get value off this card. It's a Grizzly Bear with a little bit of upside, but there's a lot of equipment, so it's a pretty big upside. think we're going to go with the Omnivore over the Dub here. That's really the two choices for me. I like Omnivore more. This doesn't mean we have to be black. We can go black to plain white. Now this card is late. This is, besides Adelaide, this is the best wizard in the format. And we're on pack 4. And there's still 2 uncommons and the rare, so people have been just picking commons out of here. I don't love the idea of red-white wizards, but I think this guy is just too strong to pass. It's definitely better than Thalid Omnivore. We could take Fungal Infection. There's absolutely no white in this pack. We could take Jousting Lance. This is a good piece of equipment, one of the things you want to hit with Corrosive Ooze. Arbor Armament, I think, is a pretty garbage combat trick. Run Amok is a very good combat trick. Perhaps the best in the format. Lava Runner we already talked about. Drudge Sentinel I don't think is really worth drafting. You can play it if you have to, but it's not great. Antiquities of War, there's blue-black historic and white-blue kind of historic and flyers. This could be good if you were all in, but it's not something I want to move into now, that's for sure. Curator's Ward is just pretty bad. It's just pretty bad. I would never really pick it or play it. I'm going to take the Adept here. This might be a strong signal that red or Wizards is open. We could just splash for these Blessed Lights, perhaps. So white has Adamant Will, which is a good combat trick, not a great one. Lingering Phantom I don't like very much either. Perhaps you could play it in blue-black historic, but I try to avoid it. There's other things I'd rather play at 6 than a 5-4. All these lands are pretty good and worth drafting pretty highly if you're on color. We are not. This is on color. This card is much to me like Sarah's Disciple. A lot of people like this card. And I can see in a historic deck Scries being pretty useful. But I don't like to play this. Sometimes I do, but I don't like to. This card I like a lot. You almost never play it for 1, so it reads a 3/3 menace for 4. It's okay. It's something that just gains value late in the game, you know? It's not just a vanilla 1/1 menace. Skin Witch, Soul Salvage. This card is definitely worth playing. There's several ways to mill yourself in this format. And Soul Salvage can help you there. It also gets back any of your really important creatures. Bloodstone Goblin is pretty much a Grizzly Bear. Unless you're kicking spells. Keldon Overseer, we talked about. Guardians of Koilos is pretty bad. You need a very specific interaction to make this card good. The best thing to pick up is like Sagas. And start them over again. Though normally chapter 3 is the big payoff, so it depends what your saga is. I think I'm going to go with the Keldon Overseer here. I'd rather be red because of this Fire Fist Adept than black because of the Omnivore. We could be red-black splashing for that, for the Blessed Light. Thorn Elemental. This card's a pretty sweet beater. Basically has trample. It's worth picking up if you're green. We are not green. I don't like this as a combat trick. I see people run it. It's okay. It's okay. Snapper. This is the thing you normally want to give Arcane Flight to. They come around pretty late. You can always seem to pick up 1 or 2. Divest. This card is playable, but I don't like it that much. But there's enough artifacts and creatures running around that you almost never miss. And if you're like really weak to flyers or something, you might want to play something like this and try to steal one out of their hand. Or if you're just very low on removal, then you can put one of these in, hope to snag something early. When it comes late in the game, it's useless. That's what's bad about Divest. Confessor we talked about, I like. This card's fine. If you're in black, a 5/5 Death Touch is a little hard to deal with. Fervent Strike I don't think is a very good combat trick. But it does only cost 1, so it's pretty tricky. Keldon Warcaller is a terrible Grizzly Bear. I just saw it activated, actually. Couldn't believe it. The guy activated his Saga an extra chapter by attacking an Armor, and it's not very good. So there's not much here. There is no... This is not a very good red. There's no white. Boy, we haven't seen white at all for a while. I'm going to take the Confessor. See if we can find some better stuff here. These packs are pretty bad. This card is bad. A 1/1. No thanks. This wall could be okay if you're really looking for artifacts. Soul Salvage we talked about. Lava Runner we talked about. Prospector we talked about. Grow from Ashes. This is a good way to ramp as well as fix mana. Best thing in this format. Comes into play untapped. All that good stuff. This guy's okay if you have an Icy Manipulator. I'll tell you that. But we don't. We'll pick up the Wizard here. It's not my favorite, but we'll pick it up. Excavation Elephant. If you have some artifacts that you really like, or you're playing a lot of artifact creatures, this card can be okay. This card also cares about Historic. It can be a beater, but generally it just dies to a 2/2. So it's not that great. Prospector's not that great. Run Amok I did say was very nice. Rampaging Cyclops is okay too. As long as it's attacking, it's a 4/4. Or never mind. As long as it's blocking, it's a 4/4. I don't trust Seismic Shift. Adventurous Impulse is plenty fine. I like Run Amok or Cyclops here. Go with Run Amok. Sarah Disciple. I think this was our initial pack. Yeah, it's pick 9. Man, we are pretty far from white. Our 2 first picks. We are in trouble, boys and girls. Skin Witch. It's okay. Lava Runner's okay, but I like Keldon Raider here more. Especially since we just passed the other one. Broken Bond. Partic Wanderer is fine too. But we're moving into red here. We're going to cut as much red as we can. I don't like Poet. I don't like Parting for this deck. I don't really like Prospector or Protector. I'm going to take the Scholar. We could end up Blue-Red Wizards. I told you this Rebirth was coming around. We could get the Compass for fixing here. Overseer's a good card, though. But we might want to fix with that Compass for those Blessed Lights. We're still in pack 1. I think we'll find enough playables. Ooh, another Run Amok and Lava Runner. We're going to go with Run Amok. We're not going to play either of these cards. I'll take the Salvage because it's maybe on color. Now when I draft, I like to cut stuff that I know I'm not going to play as soon as I can. Mirari Conjecture. This card can be a beating. If you draw Fight with Fire, this is probably a blue-red card, generally. I don't think we want to first pick it. It's not really what we're doing. But this card could definitely make it in a deck and get you some nice value. Sage of Latinam. I don't like this card that much. I don't really want to sacrifice an artifact that often. Pearl of the Trident is okay. As far as uncommons go, it's not that strong. But you can trick people with it. The flash is very nice. And once again, this is kind of, if you're playing Historic, this is really nice. You can blink your sagas. This guy's pretty strong. He needs auras or equipment, which are risky, but get a nice piece of equipment, it's okay. Banalish Honor Guard. It's a 3/2 if you... For each legendary creature you control. This card is certainly playable in white. Assistant, Homerid Explorer. I think people play mill in this format. I've never successfully done it. You can use this as a 3/3 body, worst comes to worst, but this goes in a deck where you're trying to mill someone. Stronghold Confessor. Deathbloom's Thallid is a really nice creature. If you're playing black, you want some of these. It's great whether or not you're playing Saprolings. Journey Mage is a mediocre wizard, in my opinion. But okay. Cyclops. Pierce the Sky. In M19, Plummet was very good. But there's a lot less flyers in this format, and this doesn't even kill all flyers. And some of the flyers are flying cold water snappers that have hexproof, so I don't like Pierce the Sky that much. Lance is a fine artifact, and Skittering Surveyor is a very good card. The best fixer in the format, and I think we're gonna pick it up over Valduck here. It's Valduck, Journey Mage, and Surveyor. Valduck is really nice, but I really want to play these two Blessed Lights. Then again, we're really just mono red at the moment. Our black is not that great. We're never going to see one of these again. I'm going to take the Surveyor here. Almost a Teferi, but not quite. And in that case, this card's terrible. It's only really good with Planeswalkers, and you have to already have a Planeswalker. Wizard's Retort is okay in Wizards. Yargle. It's a 9/3 Frog Spirit. What more do you need? Spore Storm. This card is great. If you're in Saprolings, you want one of these if you can find it. Charge. We're not doing a charge deck. Aven Sentry. This is passable. I don't think it's great, but it's passable. Elephant. So right now, the Elephant getting back like something like Skittering Surveyor would be very nice. There's our Turtle. There's Divest. There's another Deathbloom Thallid, Cabal Paladin, Githu Lava Runner, and a Corrosive Ooze. Guess it's between Yargle, Aven Sentry, and Deathbloom Thallid here. Yargle's good if you need like extra legendary creatures. The 9/3 for 5 is not terrible. I'm going to go with the white though. We could end up cutting black. And this is what I was worried about. So we'd find an Adelaise. So Knight of Grace is a great card for white. Adelaise is a great wizard card. It's still early in pack 2. It's pick 3. We do have Tolarian Scholar. We have Surveyor. We could be blue-red, splashing for Blessed Light. That's fine. Jorah's Familiar I don't like very much. I think this card's kind of garbage. Sarah Disciple. Opt is a fine card. Stronghold Confessor. It's fine. Rat Colony I don't like very much, but sometimes you can pick up 3 or 4, and then it's a better 2-drop than a lot of other 2-drops you would play. Another Omnivore. Windgrace Acolyte is a very good card. Prospector. I don't like Elemental very much. This is really if you need some filler. And Gaia's Protector. I think we're going to take Atlas here. Maybe we'll get rewarded with some more wizards. Mirari Conjecture again. Time of Ice I like. It's a tempo-y card. Rona I like. Could kind of splash for Rona. It's a lot of work. Hammered Explorer. So now it's looking like we're off black. It's kind of what our deck's looking like now. Probably end up cutting Avon Century too. Demonic Vigor I think is garbage. I wouldn't play this card ever. Dark Bargain is good card draw. I like this card a lot. It does deal you 2 damage, so sometimes you can't lose it when you're almost dead. Fiery Intervention. This is one of the better removal spells in the format, especially for red. 5 damage to any creature, destroy target artifact. This is the card we're going to end up picking. Venture's Impulse we talked about. Gaia's Protector we talked about. Blood Tallow Candle. This is fine if you really need some removal. Also, if you're doing historic stuff, it's pretty good. And then a Guardian, but this is an easy Fiery Intervention here. Why go and try to spread ourselves even thinner when we can just have a great removal spell on color? Orcish Vandal, the Wall, the Elephant. Rescue I think is unplayable. Deep Freeze, this is an okay removal spell, but you don't want to run it if you don't have to. I think Blessing is garbage, though I've lost to it several times. Divest, another Rat Colony, a Red Journey Mage, and a Gorger. Gorger is probably the best card in this pack. I like Gorger a lot, but it's not on color, and Journey Mage is a fine pickup. Shield of the Realm. This card's okay, but I like Short Sword better. I don't know why this is uncommon. This is common, but it is. Relic Runner is not really playable, but if you're doing some weird kind of tempo historic thing, you can play it. Deep Freeze we just talked about. Explorer, Skin Witch, Dark Bargain, Fervent Strike. Scout is okay if you're ramping. There's a lot of playables. This whole deck, this whole rest of the pack is playable almost. That's pretty crazy. We're going to take the short sword here. I like that card. Tiana's Ship's Caretaker I've never been very happy with. Bottom line there. Selfrin Void. Normally you want your mana base, you want your colors. You don't want to be playing a colorless land. Dub we talked about. Relic Water we talked about. Arcanist is an okay wizard, and we're probably going to end up picking it because we need more wizards. I also think it's good to, keep an eye on your curve as you're building decks. Right now we have no 2-drop creatures. So picking up a 2-drop creature is pretty important to us. Arcanist fits the bill. And we've talked about these. So now we're looking for mostly red-blue. If there's some great white card, we could pick it. I don't know if we want to run Compass or not. Phoenix is okay. I don't love it, but it's okay. It's on color. It'll probably be our pick. Sarah Disciple. I like it more than Relic Runner because it's not a wizard. If this was a wizard, it might be different, but it's a rogue. Grudge Sentinel, Seismic Sift, Broken Bond, Gaia's Protector. Phoenix is okay. Sage of Latnam is an artificer, not a wizard. Not a wizard. Cyclops is okay too, but I'm going to go in the favor of the wizards here because we have Adeliz. Oath of Teferi, no one wants you. We could pick up a Snapper at this point, but I think I'm going to go with Lava Runner because we still don't really have a lot of early creatures. Guess we have one Lava Runner. I'll take one more. We'll pick the Fire Elemental here, but I don't really want to play it. Homerid, but I don't really want to play it. Vandal, I'm not going to play it. So normally you build your deck with 17 cards. So I try to keep my deck size at 23. And once it gets to 23, then everything I'm thinking about is I got to make a cut. To put something new in this deck. Clifftop Retreat is a rare draft, but it's also really good fixing for us. It's really nice fixing for that Blessed Light. Means we could probably go without the Navigator's Compass. Just go like one Plains, Clifftop Retreat, and the Skittering Surveyor. Daneth is good. But we're trying to stay away from white. Eldest Reborn is good. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's actually only okay. Late game, if they just have a bunch of critters, the first 2 chapters are basically useless. So it becomes whether or not there's something good enough to get. Which brings you into some of the self-mill strategies. Wall, Healing Grace, I think, is unplayable. Another Blessed Light. This is the problem. I would pick this up, but I think we should get the land. Unwind is playable. Yuck. More rats. Not very good. Not very good. Good for green. Not very good. I really like getting this retreat here for many reasons. Okay. So let's cut the compass now. This card's very good. This card is very good for us. It's removal that can just win the game. I wish we had picked up some of those Mirari conjectures now. We are picking this card. Easy. Baird, Triumph, fine. We could be on our second Baird right now. Sarah Disciple, Arcane Flight, Unwind, Drudge Sentinel, Soul Salvage, Lava Runner, Cyclops. If I wasn't picking this, I'd probably pick Jousting Lance. But we already have a short sword. I don't like having too much equipment. But this card is just a freaking payoff, man. A big payoff for going red. Diligent Excavator, I don't like very much. This would, I guess, be part of your mill strategy. You'll play Excavators and Hammerid Explorers. Memorial War, I don't think is very good at all. Though it did just beat me not so long ago because I had the 3-color mana base and they killed the swamp and I never got off the ground. Trapper is a great card. This is great in Blue-White Historic. I like this card a lot. Century, Runner. Syncopate. Every deck could use one Syncopate if you're playing blue. I'm considering this. Confessor, Acolyte. We're just off of black now. We got too many Wizards payoffs and good payoffs in blue. Another Journey Mage would be fine. Keldon Raider. I'd rather have a Journey Mage. This card's great, but not for us and that. So it's really between Syncopate and Journey Mage. Kind of want to count up my creatures here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My creature quality is really low. Get another Journey Mage. Sadly, the 3-drops are good. We're just going to have so many 3-drops. Still have Fervent Strike. I'm going to play Syncopate. I want to cut a lot of these cards still. All right. Well, that's a little bit of a payoff. Naban's sweet. Naban double triggers Journey Mage. Double triggers Fire Fist Adept. Pretty good stuff. So it's going to be an easy Naban here. Otherwise, I would probably take Arcanist because I'd rather have a 2-drop than another 3-drop here over the Scholar. These cards are fine, but Naban is a 2-drop. That's awesome. Oh, we also have man, we need to make a lot of cuts. Let's cut Fervent Strike. Maybe not. Maybe we want that in this deck. Warlord's Fury is a pretty sweet. I like this better than Fervent Strike, if I have to, because it cycles. Or cantrips, however you want to say it. Gaia's Blessing, I think, is unplayable. Arvid is a decent card, but it's hard to get enough legendary creatures to get a lot of payoff from this. It's more just a 3/3 Death Touch lifelinker, which is pretty good on its own. Academy Drake is a sweet flyer. This is probably what we're going to pick, even though it's a freaking 3-drop again. I hate it. Not interested. Okay, pretty good. Gifted Growth is fine. Man, can we really take another 3-drop here? Academy Drake is just pretty good. Otherwise, we'd take Warlord's Fury. I haven't really messed around with taking a bunch of these yet, so I'm going to take the Drake here. Paid off, folks. Paid off. Another Fire Fist Adept. Super late. Pick 6. Yes, please. I'm not even going to talk about the rest of these. Not even going to talk about it. All right, now we're at 27 cards, so we can start cutting some of the chaff. I don't think we want Explorer. I don't want Fervent Strike. We can actually be at 24 now because there's a land in here. And I don't want Fire Elemental. So this is kind of what our deck looks like now. We're still a little short on 2-drop creatures, but we do have 1-drop creatures, which I kind of group 2 and 1-drop creatures all together. And I want at least 4, maybe 6, depending on how good they are. So I still think we're a little low on these, but you know, what can you do? We're trying our best. We could play Tiana. I know I said she wasn't that good, but we're already splashing white. I don't think we're going to play anything here. Maybe we'll take a Snapper, actually. Snapper's not a bad pickup here. Do we take the Wizard over the Grizzly Bear? I think we need to mind our curve at this point. It'd be nice to have another Wizard. But I really think we want to get these 2-drops in. I don't know what we're going to cut. Maybe these 4-drops. I'm not quite interested in either. Turn 4, hopefully we just hold up Syncopate or we start doing stuff with Sword. I'm going to take the 2-drop purely for curve. And there's another 2-drop or an Unwind. Our top end is all removal, which is pretty good. Maybe we go for another 2-drop here. Let's see. We have the Drake, which kicks. Too bad we never found a Githu Chronicler. We have Fight with Fire that kicks. Keldon Warseer that kicks. We got a few kickers. Maybe this is better than the Warcaller. Here's a 4-drop. That's perhaps better. Gotta take the Journey Mage here. Could take the Flight. Could take the Wizard. I mean, we're pretty full right now, I feel like. I don't think flying Snappers are game plan. We want to win with Fire Fist Adepts and just killing stuff and punching through. I'm going to take the Wizard. Warlord's Fury. And another Run Amok. All right. We're 45. I'm going to go down to 1 planes here. Well, let's wait a second. We got to make 5 cuts. I like Journey Mage better than Scholar because of Naban. Arcanist is not that great for us. We don't have that many instants or sorceries. Guess if we keep stuff like this around, we're okay. We can cut 1 run amok. Maybe we can just cut the snapper. Lower our top end. We have 17 creatures, 9 spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. We have 12 wizards. That's a lot of wizards. I'm going to cut 1 lava runner and 1 scholar. We still need to make 1 more cut. I'm going to try this Warlord's Fury. Works well with Adelaise. Guess we're going to cut the Cyclops and have a very strange curve. No 4-drops. I think that's okay. Let's see. We got 1, 2 white cards that are 5-drops that only need 1 white. And we have a Skittering Surveyor and a Cliff Chop Retreat. I'd like to play 1 planes here, but that could be dangerous. We only have 2 sources with 1 way to get it. That's fine, but I'm going to play an extra island and cut a mountain here. We don't have much blue, but some of it's pretty early. I'd really like to cut a plains and make it another island. If we don't get Skittering Surveyor, then we just have to draw 1 of the 2 naturally. I think we need 3. Alright, well, we ended up in a Wizards deck. I'm not sure how. But we got some powerful cards. Let's go see what happens out here in the world. Generally when I draft, I do not like to draft 3-color decks. Mana never seems to come together. Let's go. So we'll probably play about 2 games here, and then I'll end the video. This hand is slow, but okay. We got all our colors, so pretty good. Pretty good. I took out the compass, right? Yeah, we took out the compass. And the Naban off the top would be super gross right here. Surveyor's okay. Let's go for it. Do we go for it? Let's go for it. Seal away. I wanted to do that so we could get some value off our Journey Mages. Kind of in trouble now. We really helped that guy out. He had nothing going that turn. We should have played the Journey Mage. We don't need double blue for anything, so we're going to get red. We're happy to trade the Surveyor off with the Keldon Overseer. I guess we're just going to have to play one of these for no value. I don't think we ended up cutting too many wizards. Fell into that Gideon's approach. I'm not sure we would have been able to beat that anyways, but it just stinks that we gave him value on turn 2 when he wouldn't have had it. We'll play into a combat trick here. Scouting Surveyor did its job already. If it can take a creature with it, that's great. This guy's deck is pretty aggressive. I think we're just going to play this guy, though. Boy, what if he syncopates? Then he just has it all. Alright, well this is working out now. Now we can play our Journey Mages, get some value off of him. He's also playing 3 color. Looks like he was splashing white for removal as well. Our removal's better though, you know? Phoenix, come on in. You gotta swing with the Phoenix here, you're not blocking with it. Maybe he is. Guy costs 7 to kick. 3 plus 4 is 7. I'm gonna put this on. He could have another Fervent Strike. He's doing pauses and stuff. So instead of playing the second Journey Mage, we're gonna suit him up. This way he can't kill it with Fervent Strike. And we get to do 4 damage. 4 damage is a lot. I should have moved the sword there. That was a bit of a mistake. In black-red, there are some sacrifice mechanics, so you could steal and then sack things with like Whisper, Blood Liturgist, or... Probably his only removal spell. He's coming in. He only has blue untapped. So I think we can trade here. Run amok is pretty good. I don't think there's any way this guy dies here. So I'm going to play Journey Mage after combat. And we'll move the sword. We might just be able to get through with Run Amok here. Still saving Keldon Overseer. I mean, this could win the game too if we draw land next turn. Something goes wrong here. Maybe we play this safe. If we attack with both, he blocks there, he blocks here. We do 7, which is 5, which is just 1 short. It's always scary leaving a Wizard's deck around for another turn. Does he have 2 reproaches? He's smart to do this before the block step. So now he's going to block, but he's still going to take a beating. Boy. Maybe not. Maybe he's got all the counter spells. Wow. Wow. I don't like this card at all. Whatever. Guess it's good for you. If he has a syncopate, I'm going to lose my mind. Lose my mind. The way this guy pauses so much is just really hard to have any idea what he's doing. Except taking his time. All right, we got lethal. Let's go. All right, GG opponent. He played a lot of cards I don't like playing and almost got away with it. But we got him. Let's do one more, and that'll be it for the video. You can wish me luck. I'll be streaming this probably later tonight. Come by, see it live. We never drew any of our white. I mean, we drew the planes, but we never drew a Blessed Light. I'm pretty happy we got that land. It's a dual land, and it's from Dominaria, which means it's not going to rotate out for a long time. And I need dual lands in my life. Well, setting this Naban up to die here. I think we'll save this. There's no need to cycle it now. Forgot how much good removal we have in this deck. Helm of the Host can certainly beat you down, so Fire Intervention is good there. There's actually a lot of artifacts that are quite good. Sometimes I don't really know what Warlord Fury does, so I tried to sneak it by there. Maybe he'd make an attack. We'll probably syncopate whatever it is if we can. Because you know we're not playing 4-drops. Song of Frailes, can't syncopate that, but we could syncopate another creature here. Which I'd be interested in. Since we don't want him to have creatures when the song goes off. Oh, because he tapped that. Oh. Oh. What a terrible play. What a terrible play. So right now I'm thinking about what creatures I want to have out here for when the song goes off. Can't believe I have that blatant of a punt on my YouTube video. Such is life. We're at 20, so it's not like he's just going to win the game when this goes off. That's freaking nice, though. Wow, that worked out really well for you, opponent. Wow. I'm going to kill the Mesa Unicorn here. Song is a bomb. Song is a bomb. This costs 7. Need 6, so I guess we go with Adelaise and the Arcanist here. We might as well attack with Adelaise. She's not going to be blocking. Oh, we only had one blue source? Yuck. We need to draw some hot top decks for this one. I think we got to kill something here. That with the Aether Glider. We just have to trade everything. Wasting that Syncopate was really bad for us. Well, this guy just seems to have it all. Alright. That guy just curved out like a boss. A boss. 1 and 1. We should do one more. Well, how long has this video been going? We should do one more. The tiebreaker. I would give this deck overall like a B-. We didn't get any rares worth drafting, as far as I can remember. We got like a Tiana's Ship Taker, some other garbage one in pack 1. I think we did the best we could. Alright, this is Lava Runner plus removal. Sure. I mean, this certainly wasn't a very focused, like, blue-red Wizards deck. Early on, we just kind of ended up there when you saw that Adeliz. Maybe I was too greedy to go for that Adeliz, but we didn't have much else going on. It's not like we passed up a bunch of Pegasus courses or good white along the way. White kind of dried up very fast. Hey, speaking of Pegasus coursers and good white. Let's go with this guy. Happily trading here. Wouldn't mind finding a blue source, that's for sure. Oh, this is great. Now I don't feel bad about using Fight with Fire on the Courser. Not at all. There is that blue source, though. It's super tempting to let it hit us one more time. I think we are. Then we get the pump off Adeliz. We also have Blessed Light, so if he pumps it above Fight with Fire, then we just kill it with Blessed Light. Or we have Fiery Intervention. Maybe we're actually going to use Fiery Intervention. I'm a little bit afraid of a pump spell at this point. Eight. What's he got? Lyra. Okay. Well. First things first. I'm glad we got a bunch of removal. This does 3 damage. But Lyra has to die first. And all these kill her, but this is the weakest one in my opinion. We just win here? We just win. No. Might as well attack. He could kill us here. You know what? Let's do it this way. Just in case. What if he has run amok? Boy, I really think now that we held her back, we kind of just have to chump with her. All right. Nope, this one we'll let through. If he has double run amok, that's a way that I feel like we could lose. Hey, run amok. So I think we fire and run amok here. This should get us home. Well, this one went how we drew it up. We still got gas in our tank. That's just 6. All right. 2-1 with, I would say, like a B- draft deck. Thanks for coming out. I hope you enjoy the YouTube stuff. I don't do it too much, but I wanted to make a special one for draft. I'd like to do this for each quick draft set when it comes out. I didn't really do one for M19. I might do a post thoughts on M19, or we'll just kick it up again whenever M19 quick draft is around. Thanks everyone for coming out. See ya in another life. Peace.